Hey guys, Shawn from She's in Her Element. Welcome back to my channel. Oh my lord, what a beautiful New England day we are having here today. It's a perfect day to head out to my studio and start working on a very rare and unusual piece that I happen to have in my possession. Intrigued? Well, meet me out there and you'll see what it is. Come on, let's go.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane.
My girlfriend was cleaning out her parents' estate home, and this is one of the pieces that was in there. I literally had no idea when I first saw it what it was. I was drawn to it because of the enamel top. I thought it was super cool, wanted to bring it home and do something with it because it was just neglected in a corner, buried under a bunch of stuff. Come to find out, it's actually a 1930s vintage medical cart. What I don't know is it could be a dentist's cart or it could actually be like a medical room side table of some sort. I don't know. Do you know? If you know, let me know down below, because I'd love to know. But this cart, I don't want to do a whole lot to it. I'm kind of envisioning it as a bar cart, and I have some really great ideas to just bring it back to life with a fresh coat of paint, maybe add a transfer, definitely upgrade the hardware, and secure it all back together because, come on, 1930s is a long time to be around. It's a little bit wiggly and it needs some help. So without further ado, let's get this project started. First, let me give you this disclosure. It has taken several days to actually film this video and get this project done. Ryder and Rosie's mom's been on vacation and I've been a super busy Nana, and between the business, the kids, and life, I've just had to walk away from it a few different times. So you're going to see me in many different outfits, but no worries. The project gets done. It's the same project in sequence to how it was done. You know how life is. It just creeps up on you and interferes and you just have to roll with it. So that's what I did. I'm rolling with it. Now let's continue to roll into the project. Through age and time and natural wear, nothing is positioned where it's supposed to be. Sides are kicked out. They're not up and down straight. The front and the back are kicked out. Heck, the center drawer runner isn't even in where it's supposed to be, and somebody just nailed it and the nails are holding it in place. So I'm going to start by removing the corners. Because they are so old, I'm actually going to just trim a little bit off them using my saw, fit them back in there so that I can fit things straight and snug and tight again. I think that's the best way to do it. I'm going to tighten everything up, get everything where it needs to be, get it all secure with glue and clamps, and put a couple nails in where I need to, hidden of course, and this piece will be structurally sound once again. This would have been just a totally easy and super quick flip if I decided to just hack it, and I'm not gonna do that. Like, if you're gonna do something, give it your all. Don't give it half an effort. What's the point in that? Stupid thing. That one is really on. Oh, there we go. Whew, okay. All right, I'm quite happy with how that turned out. It is solid. I do feel better about it because I straightened the piece out and did it the correct way. And that's an important piece of the piece that you want to keep intact, especially if it is something as unique as a medical cart. You just don't find these dental tables anywhere. So they're very special, and you want to treat them and keep their integrity. Now, I do have some holes from the handles, and somebody had something hanging there. I'm not sure what. There were no handles on this piece when I got it, so I picked up some. Hardware is a very specific choice for each piece, and it's a very big choice because it truly can make or break a piece. So I think these are gorgeous actually. I went with these beautiful brass pulls. They almost look industrial to me. It was very befitting of the fact that this came from the medical field and I thought it would look really good on there. I'm gonna have to fill the holes in and then drill new holes for the hardware for the front of the drawer. Right now it just has this wooden knob, which, no, does not work for me. So I grabbed the matching front pull, which I thought was really, really super cute. Like a little T-pull. That is just gonna look so good on the front, and it'll blend seamlessly with the exact same ones on the side, and it'll really finish the piece off nicely because I'm not going to change much of this piece. The whole thing about this piece is the fact that this is a very, very rare medical cart piece. It's an enamel top, it's in fabulous working condition. I think it just kind of needs a gorgeous paint job, possibly a transfer on the bottom shelf, something on the bottom shelf. I'm thinking there's no embellishments going on this. The embellishments are simply the hardware on this piece. With this one, the key is simplicity. Beautiful and elegant and gorgeous and irresistible simplicity. Got to find my wood filler, it's bugging me. But I can use spackle, not a problem. I like that. Oh yeah. It's like a little rainbow. And we're gonna get these right here. Now it's time to paint it, and this is always the hardest decision for me. I don't know about you guys, but I go back and forth so many times on so many different colors because there's so many different options, and I love them all. Does that happen to you when you're doing a piece? Do you know what color it's going to be, or do you change on a whim like I do? So I actually have two colors by Rust-Oleum today. I have this gorgeous Blue Harbor. I've used this in a few projects. I'll link one of those above for you. It's an absolutely beautiful color. See that? Look how pretty that is. I love this color. I just found this one. It's called Tate Green. It's kind of the same as Spanish Moss and Dixie Belle. It has a tiny hint of green to it. It definitely has a gray. There's almost even a slight brownish undertone in there. That could look really good too. But I think I'm gonna go with the Blue Harbor because I actually love this color, and I think this is a great choice to go with the hardware I chose. So Blue Harbor it is. Okay, it's like 87 degrees out. I am really hot. Hate nothing worse in this world than when you're sweating and hair sticks to you, especially your face and your neck. I don't like it. Oh, that's much better. I mean, look at that. That's the color. That is the color it needs to be. That is so gorgy-georgy. I really like that color. Before I truly decide, I feel like I should look at the Tate Green in person and not just through a can. So we have this green-gray. It's actually a pretty color. And then we have this gorgeous blue, and now I'm second guessing the blue because I've actually seen this green gray. Now the hardware does work with both, but yeah. Okay, I'm going with this one. It is a woman's prerogative to change her mind, and I just exercise my prerogative and my right. You know you do too. mulling this over for a couple of days because I am not a fan of this color. I mean, I feel like I painted it the exact same color it was, and I don't think that color was necessarily flattering to begin with. So I am just going to circle back around. God, I want to know why? And I'm gonna go with my first choice that I changed my mind on. Well, I'm circling back to that first choice, and I'm gonna use my Blue Harbor. I really like this color.
Maybe it won't be such a big adjustment after all.
And I'm definitely gonna apply a wax over it. I don't know if I'm gonna do a white wax or a dark wax. I'll decide that when I get there. There's bees. Y'all know me and bees. So, alright, let's get this blue on. I'm gonna do the first coat, just straight paint. And then for the second coat, I'm gonna go in with some texture. We got one coat down. I'm gonna let this dry and I'm gonna come back in with coat 2 and texture. Really good consistency that I want for the texture. It's not super gritty, but it's definitely grainy, and that's going to make a difference on a piece that doesn't have a lot of contours or curves, but I want to enhance it somehow. This is going to let me enhance it using my white wax or my dark wax, or both, whatever it is I decide to do to the piece. This is going to help it get that character that, hey, I've been around since 1930s look. That's what we're going for. Using the same brush that I had from coat number 1, just gonna apply this. Now, I'm not going to brush it on. I'm going to stipple it and pat it. No rhyme, no reason to how I'm going to apply this. I just want it to look good. And I'm leaving it thick in some spots and thin in others. And I'm just going for texture. Now, if you really wanted to build up some serious texture, have a blow dryer in your hand and blow dry it as you're stippling it. You can create layer upon layer, making it a little bit thicker as you go. I'm going to let all of this dry. It's going to take a second because it does have different thicknesses all over. And I still have paint left over. Don't mind the stick in there. I still have paint left over. I'm going to darken this up using my Dixie Belle Gravel Road. I don't want it super dark, but I want it darker than what it is now. And I'm going to use a brush and I am going to put that on like an aging wax in certain spots. I'm still going to go over the whole thing with a wax, but I'm going to add a little bit more texture with the next color, adding a little bit more depth and dimension to this piece because I'm not doing a whole lot to it. I want the piece to shine. Even though it's a very simple piece, I want it to have that wow factor, that glam factor, which I'm getting from the hardware. And glam comes in many forms. It's not always just shiny diamonds. But yeah, I'm gonna darken this up. I'm gonna get rid of the stick too, because I'm just gonna make a mess with that. I bought some of these cheap spatulas at Target actually, and they're great for my paint projects, for kind of keeping my containers slightly clean. I mean, look at that. It literally scrapes it all back down. I'm gonna get my gravel road, stir that up a bit. I'm actually gonna use my stick to add it because I don't want to dump in too much, so I'm gonna use my stick and add it just like that. Let's see how that looks. That it just kind of has like a dirtier look to it. You can see the difference on the rim. We have the first blue and the second blue, so definitely complementing. Definitely darker, but not too dark. These silicone spatulas work phenomenal for this project. You really can get a thorough mix. And because they're silicone, they can be cleaned up and reused, eliminating your footprint in the world. Just gonna give that a couple more minutes. It's almost dry. If you don't have the patience to completely wait for your projects to dry, totally speed it up just with a hairdryer. Got a small chip brush. I like keeping a board handy so that I can, you know, tap it a bit. Stand back and take it in. If you like what it's doing, continue. Here you can just see how it brings dimension in. That does look like it's been aged a bit, while this side is still a bit too new looking. This cart's from the 1930s. I want it to look like it came from the 1930s, but in a modern twist kind of way with a new purpose. So I am going to continue to add this darker shade over it, and it's just going to be back and forth of adding and stepping back and looking and blending and using a little bit of water if I need to, and I can always mix up the original shade if I need to add that at all. But I'm really liking the effect I'm getting just from using the brush and wiping the majority off. It actually dries to this beautiful aged out color that really adds character, and I'm really happy that I added this. And see how it looks so dark when it's wet? It's almost nerve-wracking, but that totally exudes old world. Absolutely beautiful. Perfect. Uh-oh. Hope everybody's okay. I'm gonna get back to painting. You'll remember the original wheels on this are really, really bad. You see that? Like they had just beat up and gouged and awful. So I found replacements online. They're the same. The only difference is the wheels are thicker. I'm fine with that. So let's get the new wheels on this piece and see how they look. I am loving how easy and smooth and wonderful this moves now. We're on the home stretch. Let's get the hardware on. The sides, if you remember, I covered in those holes because it had no hardware, it just had holes. Very easy to do this and get it even on both sides. Make a template of your space. I made a template of this board here. It's the same size on each side. I cut it to that shape. Once I had the shape done, fold that in half and fold that in half again. This gives you your center point. Once I opened it, I actually set my handle to where it would be in the middle and marked it with a couple black dots, and that's going to be my drilling point. Done. I really enjoyed breathing new life into this neglected vintage 1930s medical cart. I kept the transformations simple by focusing on the vintage-inspired paint finish and some complementary new hardware. The enamel top was perfect as it was, and upgrading the casters was a wise decision. Now they allow this piece to roll seamlessly and effortlessly, expanding its use with mobility. I envision it as a one-of-a-kind mobile bar cart, but it would be fabulous as a coffee station, a storage cart in your bathroom maybe, or even a side table in your bedroom. This gorgeous vintage piece will enhance the decor of any room and have all of your guests talking. Before it was sad, neglected, and lonely. Now it's absolutely gorgeous, full of vintage charm and character with a new purpose and a new life. What do you guys think? I kept it simple and let the piece shine in its own right. I think I hit the nail on the head with this one. Thanks for joining me in my studio today as I upcycled this rare 1930s medical cart into a one-of-a-kind bar cart. I'm obsessed. I'd be very grateful if you'd consider hitting that subscribe button and giving this video a like. Both help keep my channel's lights on and help keep me in the algorithm so others can find my channel. And a great big thank you to all you fabulous people for supporting me and spending some of your valuable time with me today. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye.